I am so grateful to the audiences. I try from my side. I have only one contract with the audience. मैं आपको हर बार कोशिश पूरी करूंगी कि बेहतरीन कहानी सुनाऊं. That is my sort of bond with the audience.
Midday.com is really excited. We are talking to the absolutely gorgeous Tisca Chopra today, and we are going to talk about her series Dahan, which is streaming on Disney Hotstar right now, and right there. Thank you very much, Tisca. We are very happy that we are talking to you today.
So happy to be here, Chirantana.
So, Tisca, Dahan, a series which talks about occult, supernatural, happenings, and it's kind of dark, and it has mystery, it has crime. ये script जब आपके पास आया, तो what was your first response?
When Vikrant Pawar, the director, and I had a Zoom meeting, because उस time पे Zoom ही चल रहा था, we were in the middle of this intense lockdown. This was in 2020. उन्होंने मुझे बताया कि the first line he said to me was कि ये series is right in the middle of superstition and science. I thought there is a dramatic conflict. आपको हमेशा conflict चाहिए होती है ना किसी चीज़ में. इससे आप किसी के साथ बैठो, आप उनसे बातचीत करना शुरू करो. That is there कोई सुपरस्टिशन है आपका? लाइक नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, आई एम साइंटिफिक है. जाते जाते ना दिल बी लाइक काला धागा पहना होगा, एक अंगूठी पहनी होगी, कुछ लाइट स्विच करेंगे, कुछ. सो आई थिंक एवरीवन गॉट देयर ओन sort of and it's understandable.
Of course.
We live on this like little planet.
Many things happening around us.
Not just that. हमें क्या श्योरिटी है लाइफ में, आप मुझे ये बताओ. पता है हमें कि कल क्या होने वाला है, अगले मिनट क्या होने वाला है. अकस्मात होती है, आप किसी के बारे में सोचते हो और वो फोन कर देता है, and then you are thinking, so what is all this? I'm sure there is some explanation. अब जैसे बैट्स की साउंड हम नहीं सुन पाते, चमगादड़ की, बिकॉज दैट इज सुपरसोनिक, राइट? हमारे कान में नहीं पड़ती, हमारी रेंज नहीं है. सो आई फील दैट ह्यूमन रेंज जो है उसमें कुछ चीजें नहीं हैं. सो मे बी वी टर्म देम सुपरनैचुरल, बट मे बी दैट जस्ट.
In this series you are playing an IAS officer. अब IAS officer की बहुत सारी मर्यादाएं होती हैं. ये कैरेक्टर ऐसा है जिसमें you have to be absolutely controlled. But oh my God, you act with your eyes. IAS officers को तो इतना एक्सप्रेस करने का परमिशन भी नहीं होता है. तो being drop dead gorgeous, sorry for acting like a fan, but
oh my God,
and playing a character जो बहुत ही controlled behave करता है. अब ये कैरेक्टर को प्ले करने में आपके लिए कौन सी चीजें थी जो चैलेंजिंग रही, और कौन सी चीजें थी जो जिसकी वजह से आपको बहुत एक्साइटमेंट मिला कि ओ माय गॉड, आई एम गोइंग टू लव दिस कैरेक्टर?
That's a wonderful question, Chirantana. First of all, let me just say this, because nobody really asks me this, what was the challenge of playing an IAS officer? There is no one set type. Like police की एक mandate होती है, या आर्मी की एक मैंडेट होती है, एक यूनिफॉर्म होती है. IAS ऑफिसर का कोई एक ऐसा मैंडेट नहीं है. यू कैन बी एनी काइंड ऑफ इंडिविजुअल IAS ऑफिसर, एंड देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, बिकॉज आप लाइक आई एम अ डिस्ट्रिक्ट collector me madam, they call me in Shilaspura. So you have to sort of imagine some things which look plausible, which look possible. At the same time, the challenge was कि अवनी की अपनी जिंदगी काफी आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल है. उसकी पर्सनल लाइफ दैट्स स्पाइरलिंग in front of her own eyes, and yet she has to display control. So that's sometimes very embarrassing for her, because वो कई बार publicly she loses control and she's just coming out of an incident जो उन पे कुछ आरोप लगे हैं, and एक कोर्ट केस चला है and all of that, and she's trying to prove herself कि ऐसा नहीं है, I am not what you guys are thinking I am, and yet her own inner demons come to the surface. So and of course it's a very, very male dominated world.
Absolutely.
Where she goes, Shilaspura.
Yeah.
So all of those challenges come in, like those are the forces, and that's both exciting and scary.
So Tisca, I want to know कि हर एक्टर का एक अलग प्रोसेस होता है अपने किरदार के लिए प्रिपेयर करने में. तो आपका क्या प्रोसेस था, because this is something that you have never played before. So I want to know, as an actor, what is your process?
The process of preparing for Avni was long. Let me say it's perhaps one of the, I had the good fortune of working with a director like Vikrant Pawar and my co-director Jay Sharma, and my producers Bani Jay Asia, who gave me the opportunity to take about 4 months and actually get into it. 4 to 5 months eventually, because थोड़ा delay भी हो गया था, तो 5 महीने मिल गए. This is also for me an action thriller.
Right.
So she saves the day, saves the world like any of the standard superheroes do. So she does that. Vikrant and I sort of developed the character together. We got into इसके father का क्या profession था, mother का background. We did a lot of background work on her, which helped the story in a way and helped the character in another way. So we actually workshopped that a lot. He has a theatre background.
Yeah.
So because of the theatre background, he was able to bring a kind of a theatrical, and I don't mean theatrical cinema, theatrical as in theatre, a theatre process to the method, to the idea of bringing a character. The wonderfulness of working with somebody like Vikrant was that he sets a parameter. You have to work within that parameter, but within that parameter, you are free. You know, and he will let you do what you want to do, and then he'll come with certain suggestions, say, think about it like this, think about it like this, and he always had the story firmly in mind.
वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग आंसर. इनफैक्ट यू नो वो सुन के भी इतना इंट्रिग्यूइंग लग रहा है कि आई एम श्योर दैट जिन लोगों ने भी ये सीरीज देखी है या देखने वाले हैं वो आपके परफॉर्मेंस को और ध्यान से देखेंगे कि ओ माय गॉड इसके लिए क्या किया होगा. आई एम वेरी श्योर ऑफ.
आई होप ना देखें ऐसे, बिकॉज जब ऐसा देखना पड़ता है तो फिर आई बिलीव दैट जब एक्टर अपने रोल के अंदर इतना घुल मिल जाता है, आप इतना पॉलिश करो कि वो जोड़ दिखे ना.
एंड आई एम श्योर वो नहीं दिखेगा. दे आर गोइंग टू फेल यू नो इफ दे आर ट्राइंग टू लुक for that. I'm sure of it. और you know आप जब ये जवाब दे रहे थे आपने कहा कि you know like a super hero you save the world of शिलासपुरा. ये जो चेंज आया है स्पेशली OTT की वजह से. फिल्मों में तो हम यू नो विमेन ओरिएंटेड फिल्में आती हैं या हीरोइंस अपने शोल्डर पे पूरी फिल्म लेके चलती हैं तो बड़ी चर्चाएं होती हैं, लंबी बात होती है इसकी. और OTT की वजह से ऑफ कोर्स OTT की वजह से हर तरह के एक्टर को काम मिल रहा है आज. Everyone is getting work. बट ये जो women oriented शोज की अगर हम बात करें तो ये जो चेंज आया है एज एन एक्टर, आपने तो बहुत सारे बदलाव देखे हैं. आपको क्या लगता है, हाउ डू यू सी दिस चेंज एज एन एक्टर?
इसका एक बहुत सिंपल आंसर है. आई थिंक द लकीएस्ट इन दिस जो मंथन हुआ है उसमें ऑडियंस है, क्योंकि ऑडियंस ने कभी नहीं बोला कि हमको हीरो प्रधान फिल्में देखनी है. कभी आपने किसी को सुना है कि मैं तो सिर्फ हीरो की फिल्म देखूंगा? ऑडियंस को सिर्फ और सिर्फ कहानी देखनी है, उनको सिर्फ और सिर्फ एंटरटेन होना है, उनको सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपने जो समय या इमोशंस या पैसा जो खर्च किया है उसकी एडिक्वेट जस्टिफिकेशन चाहिए. दैट्स ऑल दे आर आस्किंग. कुछ समय पहले मैंने एक शॉर्ट फिल्म बनाई थी जो मैंने लिखी थी और प्रोड्यूस भी की थी, जिसका नाम है चटनी. तो
ओ माय गुडनेस,
थैंक यू.
व्हाट अ फिल्म.
थैंक यू. उसमें हमने उसको ऐसे लिखा था कि वी लेफ्ट गैप्स, तो ऑडियंस ने आके अपने आप उसके अंदर रंग भरे. सो इफ यू रीड द कमेंट्स एंड व्हाट पीपल टोल्ड मी एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, आई वाज लाइक ओ माय गॉड, यू गाइस आर सो सिक, यू आर सो सिक. हम तो यही सिक, आप और सिक हो, यू नो. इतना इमेजिन कर लिया उन्होंने उसके अंदर. सो आई थिंक दैट वी डोंट गिव इनफ ऑफ क्रेडिट टू आवर फैब्यूलस ऑडियंस. वो इतने तेज है, एक से एक बढ़ के तोप है. उनको आप कहानियां दो, वो लपक 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 करके चाट जाएंगे उसको. बट यू नो वो ये हीरो प्रधान, हीरोइन प्रधान, ये वो चीजें, these are kind of things that I feel that are sort of just there. Yeah, they need to change, and I'm damn happy that it's changing.
So, ये जो बदलाव आ रहा है, और हम अगर फिल्मों की बात करें, हिंदी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में बहुत बड़ी बड़ी फिल्में आ रही हैं एंड समहाउ दे आर नॉट एबल टू मेक द ऑडियंसेस हैप्पी. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि कंटेंट बहुत ही बुरा है, ये सब विवाद चलते रहते हैं, नेपोटिज्म. मैं पर्सनली एज ए जर्नलिस्ट मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि कंटेंट अच्छा है तो फिल्म चलेगी. दैट्स व्हाट आई फील. बट बॉलीवुड की फिल्मों में एक यू सी लॉट ऑफ अप एंड डाउन. एक स्लाइस ऑफ लाइफ छोटी सी फिल्म बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म कर जाएगी बॉक्स ऑफिस पे, और बहुत बड़ी फिल्म लोग देखने ही नहीं जाएंगे. सो आपको क्या लगता है ये क्या हो रहा है हमारी फिल्मों के साथ?
आई थिंक ऑडियंस इन नो अनसर्टन टर्म्स हमें बता रही है और हमें सुनना चाहिए. दे आर टेलिंग अस कि भाई 2 साल हम लोग घर पे रहे हैं, हमने हर तरह का कोरियन ड्रामास देखे हैं, हमने इंटरनेशनल स्टफ देखा, हमने चाइनीज़ कुछ देखा है, हमने स्पेनिश सीरीज़ देखा है, हम सब देख सकते हैं. दुनिया उनके फिंगर टिप पे है. They want to see their people, all of us actors, perform to our stories. But if we are giving them something which they are not liking, then they're saying it, and we should listen to it. We must listen to it, because if we don't, I think it'll be a challenge. And audience ही माँ बाप है ना.
At the end of the day, of course.
होम वीडियो तो बना नहीं रहे. So then अगर बनाना है तो फोन पे बना के अपने फैमिली व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में सर्कुलेट कर लो. If you're wanting an audience, and I also in addition want to add that every story will tell you कि वो किस तरह की story है. Like Chutney couldn't have been a feature film in its current form, जैसे format में. वो 15-17 मिनट की कहानी है, उतने में वो संपन्न है. Something which is longer, which has many tracks and many things, will become a web series. So I think we need to look at it from the perspective कि कौन सी कहानी कहाँ के लिए जायज़ है. So a lot of things will be web films, which is again legitimate. Then it will find its own home. But to force feed something कि नहीं वो मेरी ego से connected है, theatrical release ही होनी चाहिए or whatever, is I think not the right way to look at it as a business.
Now let's go back to Dahan. So occult and supernatural, any weird experiences, any stories, any belief, that you maybe had, maybe as a child, something.
I have grown up in the mountains. और पहाड़ों और hills
they are never without stories.
Never. And all the stories, because पहाड़ों की जो ऐसे जो उनका स्ट्रक्चर ही होता है, तो धूप छांव दिख रहा है नहीं दिख रहा है, और शाम को लोग घर जल्दी चले जाते हैं, अंधेरा जल्दी हो जाता है, और लोग कभी इधर है फिर दूसरा घर उस पहाड़ी के पीछे है, ऐसे. तो ये सब पहाड़ी के पीछे बोलते ही एक फील्स आते हैं, और वो एक आया था टूरिस्ट और फिर वो ऐसा वाला. It's like those kind of vibes. So I've grown up with that kind of ideas of life, because my parents didn't have my brother till I was 6 years old, and then 2 साल तो of course वो छोटा ही था, तो 7-8-9 साल की उम्र तक I was pretty much an only child in a way. तो I had to rely on my imagination, because parents are parents, they were busy with doing whatever they were doing. So my imagination went a little nuts, in all sorts of ways.
I'm loving this.
Reading and, so my favorites are like from O. Henry to Bhisham Sahani to Mohan Rakesh to Edgar Allan Poe to, Saki H.H. Monroe to Roald Dahl. ये सारी चीजें पढ़ के they became like a big, thing in my head. And I think when you read, because when they say she was wearing a dull red sweater, now the dull red becomes your dull red.
Your dull red.
It is not the dull red which is shown on screen.
Yeah.
A screen then limits you, because when you're reading it, आप कुछ भी रंग डाल सकते हो. So that then becomes the way of looking at it. So your imagination is firing very sharp.
Yeah.
So that I think
your
was
senses are working continuously. Yeah. Oh my God, that's lovely. But आप जब ये कैरेक्टर कर रहे थे, आप उस माहौल में थे, क्योंकि सेट पे बातें होती हैं, स्क्रिप्ट डिस्कस होती हैं, कभी कुछ वियर्ड ख्याल आए, और कोई वियर्ड एक्सपीरियंस हुआ, और कोई कहानी याद आ गई जिससे थोड़ा डर लग गया, ऐसा कुछ हुआ क्या?
Not while shooting, but I had a couple of experiences which were, जिनका कोई मेरे पास explanation नहीं था. I'm sure है, पर मेरे पास नहीं है. And I don't know why that happened or how that happened. My husband and I were traveling on the Western Express Highway. And रात के 2-2:30 बजे थे, maybe 3 बजे. And we were driving at a decent pace, and a person and that was the stretch जहाँ पे उस टाइम कुछ भी नहीं हुआ करता था. There was no कोई भी नहीं था उधर, मतलब इस साइड पे एयरपोर्ट के जस्ट पहले, एंड इधर कुछ, there's no habitation. Suddenly something in white runs across the road, and a car comes from behind us and hits that person. That person bounces on the bonnet, on the roof and on the dicky, and falls नीचे, and there is no way that person could have survived. Whoever that person was, there's no chance, because of the sheer accident. Yeah. There was a sound which would like shake your bones, flesh and bones against metal ka jaisa sound, and we were too shaken. We just couldn't stop the car in time, and we were like, we looked at that car, wo to chali gayi, just drove past. So we took a U-turn and came back, and there was not one juta, one chappal, one body, one kapda, one drop of blood, one drop of water, nothing. There was nothing on the road, on either side. We were like, get the hell out of here, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and there was no habitation. आसपास कुछ भी नहीं था दोनों साइड पे.
तो कहाँ से आया?
क्या था थी?
हवा में से
Yeah,
आया.
yeah.
Oh my god.
And both of us saw it. Both of us saw it.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was bizarre. I don't have an explanation for that. It wasn't small enough to be a bird or an animal or a dog. It was a human figure that ran. We saw the running. We were like, oh my god, aisa wala. And so that was one. And one when we were shooting Dahan, there's a village called Chirana, जो कि समय के अंदर फंस गया है जैसे एक जगह. उसका ना पास्ट है ना फ्यूचर है. एंड उसका हर चौथा पांचवा घर ऑक्यूपाइड है. सिर्फ 3 घर 4 घर खाली हैं बिकॉज सारा यूथ निकल चुका है वहाँ से टू गेट जॉब्स इन सिटीज एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. एंड एज अ कॉन्सिक्वेंस इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ अ बिजार प्लेस. तो हम लोग वहाँ शूट कर रहे थे रात को. और द DOP आर सिनेमाटोग्राफर उसने बड़ी बड़ी लाइट्स डाली हुई थी ऑन द आसपास के जो पहाड़ थे. तो लाइटों को देख के आई एम नॉट इवन जोकिंग, इतने बड़े बड़े कीड़े 4-4 इंच के कीड़े पता नहीं कहाँ से आ गए. लाइक जायंट कॉकरोचेस काइंड ऑफ थिंग. And all of us were like, what is going on? And the whole night we were shooting. And अगले दिन जब हम लोग पहुंचे सुबह वापस, all of us went to sleep. And we were very like think कि अब अगले दिन फिर जाना है वहाँ शूट करने, शाम को we have to go back again for an evening shift. But at that moment there were 2 rainbows in the sky.
That's a sign.
That's a sign. Yeah, that was truly a sign. That was so beautiful to see. We were staying in this place called Matsya Vilas, और वहाँ पे बिल्कुल flat है ना, बॉम्बे की तरह buildings नहीं है. So you can see 2 clear rainbows in the sky, and everyone came out अपने pajamas में, t-shirts में. Everyone, the whole unit was looking at it. It was just beautiful. That was really wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah, supernatural doesn't need to be bad, right?
Of course.
Yeah, fairy godmothers also supernatural.
Always. Always. And they're always around.
Yes.
This is something very, very weird. Every time I feel really heavy or I'm upset about something, I just tell the universe, give me a sign. And every time I see a butterfly.
Oh yeah?
Every time, wherever I am. Wherever I am. So yes, supernatural doesn't have to be evil and
or bad
and
yeah?
dark.
Yeah.
I'm sure बहुत सारे लोग आपकी सीरीज बिंज वॉच कर चुके हैं. आपको क्या DMs आ रहे हैं? I want to know that because I'm sure people are falling for you and they have fallen for you earlier too. But now seeing you there in a web series where we can look at you for more than 17 minutes of chutney.
Chirantana, I've been very blessed and I am so grateful to the audiences from Tare Zameen Par and a little before that when I was doing some television. एक अटूट सा बंधन है. I try from my side. I have only one contract with the audience. मैं आपको हर बार कोशिश पूरी करूँगी कि बेहतरीन कहानी सुनाऊँ. और that is my sort of bond with the audience. And they are responding with such a deluge of love. They're loving the lines. They're making reels about badal jao, nahi to badal diye jaoge. And then Mayavi Avego, Hadika, that is, all these things which are there in the series. Rakan, Ridiakan, and all of that. So people are having a lot of fun with the show. They're getting a little scared, but in that good way. In that little spooked out kind of way. So it's very trippy. It's very trippy.
With a lot of love, a lot of admiration that you are receiving, what are we going to get from you? What next?
Here's the wish list. I want to do a love story. I'm dying to do a love story. An unusual love story. A love story which is sort of कुछ अलौकिक. I think थोड़ा सा हम लोगों का विश्वास प्यार के ऊपर से उठता जा रहा है. That romantic love. We've all become sort of, convenience oriented, where तब्दीली आ रही है.
Social media oriented.
Yes.
Ghosting हो जाता है प्यार में, and then love is gone. Wow.
So I want to put some energy into doing something like that. That's वो मुझे बहुत आकर्षित कर रहा है at this point. And also I want to work on directing a feature which is kind of लिख लिया है उसको. Yeah, दो लिख लिए actually. So let's see which one goes on floors first. We're casting. So yeah.
Oh my God.
And then there's another series that we're talking about, and then hopefully Dahan season 2 as well.
My God. So we are not going to miss you for a very long period now.
I hope not.
Of course not. Of course
I hope
not.
not. नहीं नहीं, इस साल तो जुग जुग जियो भी तो आई है.
हाँ,
इस साल मिस करने का चांस नहीं है.
जुग जुग जियो तो हमने मिस किया ही नहीं. And we loved you in that. Who will not fall in love with someone like that?
Oh my God, thank
इतनी
you.
अच्छी टीचर होंगी तो फिर सारे पेरेंट्स, मतलब सारे डैडीज ही आएंगे पेरेंट टीचर मीटिंग में. आप क्या बिंज वॉच करती हैं?
मैं बहुत सारी चीजें बिंज वॉच करती
क्या देखा है अभी which has stayed with you?
हूँ. I just saw the movie Elvis. The mind was blown. I was not a huge Baz Luhrmann fan because मेरे को लगता था उनका style over substance रहता है. It's too stylish but it doesn't soul.
Yeah.
But oh my God, Elvis is like, it's so sharp. I saw something called The Offer, which is the making of The Godfather, which is brilliant to the next level. कि Godfather बनाते बनाते Francis Ford Coppola and Ruddy जो उसका producer है और Mario Puzo जो writer हैं Godfather के, उन्होंने कैसे वो film बनाई. And then now I'm watching The Godfather because I wanted to connect the things. So this is what I've been watching. Yeah.
That's lovely. And what else do you do when you're not looking pretty or you are not shooting? आप क्या करते हैं? आपको क्या करना अच्छा लगता है?
मुझे लिखना बहुत अच्छा लगता है. कविताएं नहीं, ये नहीं, वो नहीं. I like to write screenplays. मुझे बहुत मजा आता है. So there's a screenplay, Chutney का screenplay I had written, and also then Churi and then Rubaru. Now there is 2 screenplays which we are kind of writing, and those are done. But I really enjoy that. Like मुझे सुबह छलांग मार के बेड से I want to get there, I want to sit and write. I light my few candles, make the atmosphere, and I sit and write.
माहौल बना के, that's how you can write.
With my co-writer Namrata. So yeah, both of us sit and write, and I think both of us enjoy that. It's like a sacred time.
Yeah.
It's a sacred time. I love that. Of course, I love watching stuff. I am a decent cook, but utna mauka nahi milta. But I love playing sort of arts and craft things with my daughter. We do Lego and we do a lot of chipkana and making things. We love doing that. I love playing Wordle with my dad.
Okay. Yeah.
And then developing stories with my husband. I love to travel. We travel a lot. Again, now we're headed in the next month and a half, and then that's the plan.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So those are a bunch of things.
बहुत सारे लोग हम नए लोगों को भी देख रहे हैं स्क्रीन पे thanks to OTT, and there are a lot of people who are still trying to make it there. They want to act. Someone who has sustained for such a long time, very patiently also. What was it that made you stay? Because patience खत्म हो जाती है कभी. And one that, and second, what would you tell to those people who are, trying to make it there, trying to do something good?
चिरंतन, आपने 2 सवाल पूछे हैं. One is about sustenance and the other is about making it. Sustenance का जहाँ तक सवाल है, if you love something, it doesn't feel like sustenance. After Tare Zameen Par, everyone came to me and said, it's a beautiful script. It's about a mother और उनका बच्चा जो है वो बीमार है in some way or the other. And I kept saying no, I kept saying no, I kept saying no. Luckily, I had a husband who had a very steady job, and so I didn't have to worry about the bank balance so much, which a lot of people do have to worry about. They have to sustain in Bombay, and it's an expensive city. So I think I would say that take most of the work that you get. अगर आपका काम अच्छा है, आपका craft develop करने का मौका है. एक किताब है जो मेरी बहुत favorite है, जिसका नाम है Outliers. I actually believe what the book says, and it says that you need 10,000 man hours at anything to be able to become a genius at it, to become a master at it. So if you're constantly pushing your craft, and if you are in, say, doing a play, doing theatre, which doesn't pay much, but you're polishing your craft, you're doing television, or you're doing ads, or you're doing live shows, or you're doing whatever it is, web series or this, if you're polishing, they will वो मौका, because the earth is kind of rotating, वो सूरज के सामने आपका वो रेज का और आपका टाइम आएगा, kind of thing. But अगर आप उसके पहले ही आप ये क्यों पूछ रहे हैं अपने आप से कि कब जो है वो तो करो. Have you done everything? Now people say, what do you mean by everything? I'm like, everything. Have you made the calls? Have you gone and told people? Have you worked on your craft? Have you worked on your fitness levels? Have you got your mind stable? Are you emotionally centered? Are you processing? And as an actor, आपका काम है स्क्रिप्ट की इमोशंस को लेके उनको चबा के खा के उनको रिगर्जिटेट करना. तो क्या आप उस वल्नरेबिलिटी में हैं कि आप ये कर सकें? क्या अपने ही जिंदगी के बोझों से इतने भरे पड़े हैं कि आप कैरेक्टर के लिए जगह ही नहीं है आपके अंदर? So I'm saying all of those things are what matter, and those are the things to think about. If you're constantly looking and think, उसने ये साइन कर ली, उसने घर खरीद लिया, उसने एक गाड़ी खरीद ली, ये कहाँ घूम रहे हैं, वो तो हॉलिडे पे चले गए. If you're living the life of envy, you're not living the life of development. So I think you have to worry about creating. And एक creation की मुझे ऐसा लगता है चटनी क्या थी यार, 17 मिनट की फिल्म थी, पर it has more views. It has upwards of 650 million views. You know, that is a huge number.
Of course.
But there was truth. जब सच्चाई होती है तो अगर मैं आपको सच बोल रही हूँ तो आपको दिखेगा. मेरे को बोलने की जरूरत नहीं कि मैं सच बोल रही हूँ, मैं सच बोल.
जी.
तो अपने काम में और अपने काम के प्रति ईमानदारी, अपने लोगों के प्रति ईमानदारी से अगर आप करें, कुछ अपने पास मत रखो, सब डाल दो और भी निकालो, तो फिर फिक्र मत करो, कहीं ना कहीं से आ जाएगा. यू फॉलो द क्राफ्ट एंड द मनी एंड द फेम एंड एवरीथिंग एल्स विल फॉलो.
Thank you very much. I think this conversation was exciting and spiritual, both.
Yes, for me as well.
Thank you.
You're such a wonderful listener. Thank you for that.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.